Burada bir yere.
Ise bir mermi atması lazım. Burada reis'e beraber uzaklaşa oynayacaklar ama S2G'yi durdurmak çok zor. Bu çocuğu bulamıyorlar milimetrik cover'dan.
Want to go up towards a George Paul. The phase 1 area is pretty nicely on towards the central part of the map. Of course, phase 2 has popped up and shifted towards the northwest, so it opens a door for
5 minutes later.
It's kind of clean is tricky because Ruins is isolated on its own, so it's kind of Headshot Hills, and you don't really get the information to the west side of the circle, so you really have to commit to either the east or the west and hope for the best.
Yeah, east to west.
Immortalizing that phrase in the world of PUBG Mobile, back in the PUBG Mobile World League 2020, S2G'ye gets knocked at the hands of Supermassive Blaze. A bit of a kind of a cheeky third party knock. Nice reposition by Supermassive Blaze, swiftly holding onto 2 buildings on top of the hill. And it's really important that they get these.
Just looking at that angle, we see Supermassive Blaze come in from. I mean, there's so many trees obstructing the
decode moving around. It's a bit of a tricky position that they hold onto inside this circle because there's very little cover. Again, they're not really threatened at the moment by like the Morte or Vodafone Giants outside the circle, but that could very swiftly change.
Yep, they'll definitely have to try and buff as much as they can. Another team that now has to try and put up those defensive plays is going to be the side there of Canino Power. We see the players from Game Lord now moving in from Ruins, trying to push up that hillside. We already see Me getting taken down, but this is that opportunity that Game Lord has now been waiting for, as we do see Victor come flying past. They find the hits. Robs goes down in the trade-off, but with that, they are able to secure the position for the time being. Canino Power now being put the back foot here, as we can see Gonzo and Axa trying to hold on, cooking up the grenades, sending them out. Narvalo just huddling down, trying to see if you could get a little bit closer to Robs.
Don't go for the revive though, Game Lord. Don't go for the revive, right? You're giving Canina Power the time to get back into this fight. You're giving time for the likes of S2G, the third party. I get that. It's like it's so like natural to be like, oh, we need to go for the revive, but you give your opponent so much more time to play around you, reposition and disengage, and just like that, that's going to be a kill onto Narvalo at the hands of Canina Power. Just wasted opportunity when Game Lord had a chance to at least grab a couple of kills before going out. Not saying they would have won the fight, but it's much better. It would have been much better than what happened to them just there.
Yeah, of course, in a situation like that, like you pointed out yesterday, it is better to prioritize the engagement before worrying about getting that res. As you rightly pointed out, it really does give the opposing team that opportunity to advance even further on towards you. And speaking about advances now,
that's what I kind of predicted for Exquisite Decode, right? They weren't in a good... They both ended up disengaging away from... And nobody really wins that one because we saw Game Lord go down to Canina Power and S2G. Not saying the lack of fighting or the lack of quick disengagement was the reason for it, but certainly did not help when we're seeing World of Wonders be put under pressure by footballers, but kind of winning it for the time being as there are 2 players left up. Levazan ends up getting knocked down, and I think it's just 1 more player, footballers, left up. No, 2, Rom and Lutz.
ooh, but this is, yeah, this has been an interesting push coming in, though. World of Wonder coming in with a nice dynamic approach to the engagement here, as they have a bit of health before advancing. Cooking up the nade. Maybe just out of reach. Is it going to make it? No, it doesn't, but it gets really close, though.
Close, but no cigar. Again, that kind of double push or that double knock and kill from World of Wonder has allowed them to keep themselves up as a full squad. The circle is starting to close in closer and closer as Unicorns love pushing up on towards that western side. I believe just 1 player left up for them as he a little bit fixated on the feed, but will continue on as Phantom. I don't know who Phantom is, being perfectly honest, but he has helped to clutch up to take down Mad Bull.
Are going to be losing another player. It is up to Fanta now to try and hold on to the show as the zone is now shifted once again over towards the eastern side. But Fenerbahce still rocking a full squad. In fact, the only team that is still sitting on a full squad.
Vigo, so I'd be very surprised if the full squad survive into the next circle. Luckily, there's not too much build up on towards that side in terms of Demorte is the only thing kind of gatekeeping them as one player left up. Supermassive plays looking to clear out the Eastern Stars, and indeed they do. Octavian goes down. Terminat for Eastern Stars.
But Supermassive players, they're also again starting to build up some pretty good momentum here, finding the angles on towards Rebellion. Astron just lasers on through with that DP28. The rest of Fenerbahce now caught up ahead. Tron gets traded off, but now it all turns to Coursera and Keith now to potentially clutch it for the team. Will they be able to get it? Felgus just taunting them around that rock.
I'm a little bit surprised that kind of Fenerbahce pushing up that direction. That's why I only really mentioned Demorte, but maybe they thought they could get a bit of a third-party potential after hearing the shots. The fighting two of their players have been knocked down, and they're left with just a duo up on standing as Vodafone Giants had a very decent day yesterday. And coming into this game one, they may have only started as a three-person team with their 4 kills into the top 6.
And so far, they are holding their own as they've had that opportunity to reset. Ulysses now just moving up, clearing out the field as much as they can. With that, gets taken down though. And now it all turns to Nano, who also bites the dust. With that, S2G does get the clean sweep in. But we are also now down to our final 5 remaining teams as Fenerbahce loses yet. Make use of, aside from that tree, I'm not seeing much from this.
S2G have not only been dealing with Vodafone Giants, they will have heard a couple of shots from the likes of Kenina Power, possibly. I don't think they're really going to be looking inside that part of the circle, so I think Fenerbahce, at least if they're able to do something against Supermassive Blaze, who are clearly being put under pressure by Kenina Power, yeah, Fenerbahce, I can see them coming in towards the top 3.
Well, we might have the PUBG gods smiling down upon them with that Supermassive Blaze get taken down at the hand of Fenerbahce.
Yep.
Now, it is completely open for them to look to advance back in towards zone. They do have a knock, so Dokken Machine is down for the time being. There will be that opportunity now to get themselves quickly raised back up if the blue zone starts closing it. But meanwhile, over on the east, we see the Muerte now getting absolutely demolished, and it turns to Carino Power and S2G to fight it for control of this first match. Out comes the shift kisses once again. S2G slowly making their advances. I like the way that they are still keeping their separation, so they haven't sent out anyone just yet, and that really paid off. As we can see, Nomi now just getting taken away, and it is up to Axa. He's cooking up the final nade. Will he be able to get that angle in towards S2G? Up comes the split now as Kelsey is looking to move forward alongside Silas Pew. And with that, the execution goes down. S2G take away the victory with a very comfortable 8 kills on board.